Hey crafters, are you looking for a unique background that will make your cards pop, but you're also going to have fun creating this background? We have you covered today. Hi, I'm G with Creative Moments by G, and let's head down to the crafting table. Let me show you what we're going to use to create this unique background. Cling wrap. Oh my goodness, now I'm going to show you several different ways that you can use cling wrap and how it's going to give you different results. I'm going to go ahead and grab just a piece of really nice cardstock, and I tore off some pieces of cling wrap. Now when you're working with the cling wrap, you want to make sure and kind of create a little area that you can hold, and this needs to stay wrinkled, right? Let me show you how to use it in different ways. You can open up your ink pad and you can use it straight from the ink pad. Now let's get in real close so you can see the difference. And you just go tap, 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 and we just put it on our paper. Now I want you to look at that. Look at the color of this. It's very muted and you can see some texture in there, right? Now let's go ahead and grab us an acrylic block. Let's just add our acrylic block and just bring a little bit of ink onto that. Let's bring in our water spritzer and let's spritz it up just a little bit. Go ahead and bring in a piece of paper. Go ahead and spritz it up just a little bit. Now, the more water you add, the lighter it will be. Let's see what happens. We're just going to tap it. And now we're going to put it right by our one that we took from the ink pad. Let's go ahead and just add some more color. And let that dry for just a second. And I want to show you the difference that it makes. Now look at the difference in texture. When we added it to our acrylic block, it really made the color more vibrant and it's not as muted. So based on that, you decide how you want to do it. I am going to use it on the acrylic block just so I can have some more color. But let's go ahead and lay down our piece of paper. And now let's make a card with this really unique background. Now this card, we're going to create a flap card because it's very quick and easy. And look at that background. We used our cling wrap and then we also double embossed it just to give it some additional dimension. So let's go ahead and bring in our strip that we're going to color. Now this mat is 5 by 1 7/8. But I want to remind you, all our measurements are going to be over on creativemomentsbyg.com on my blog. Let's create this unique background. So we already have our ink right there on our acrylic block, and we're going to use two colors. So we're just going to bring in a little bit of this Lost Lagoon, and we're going to leave it just like that. Now I'm going to put that to the side. And I'm going to bring in Berry Burst. Now, Berry Burst is a very vibrant color. We already have our cling wrap just like this, and I'm just going to kind of pinch it right at the bottom, leaving this nice and wrinkly, right? And we need one more acrylic block. We're going to go ahead and just push it down on our acrylic block. We are going to bring in our spritzer and just spritz it a little bit. The color will be more vibrant and darker if you put less water on it. So let's go ahead and just get it just like that. And we're just going to let it dry for just a second. Oh, look at that color. Look at that. Now, when this dries, it will lighten up a little bit because this is water-based, and so It will lighten up and it's going to be so pretty. Now we're just going to set that over to the side. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to our Berry Burst mat. Now look at that. Oh, look how pretty that looks. And what is so great about this technique is you can mix and match the colors and create the color background that you want. You don't have to use pattern paper. Maybe it doesn't have the colors that you want. Now we do. Let's put that to the side and let's bring in our base card. Now for this you need 5.5 by 6.5 and we're going to score at 4 1/4 on the long side. This is going to create our base card. Now we also need to have a small flap for our card, and that is going to be 3 1/4 by 3 1/2. So we have our small flap here, 3 1/2 by 3 1/4. And we need to score on the short side at 2 3/4. So I just turned it on the short side and we're scoring at 2 3/4. Now we have both of our score lines. Let's go ahead and just give it a good crease. We're going to put the large area to our right and feel for the score line and fold it over and give it a good crease. Now we can start putting our card together. So let's go ahead and add this to our mat and add this to the front of our card just like this. Oh, so pretty. I like that we decide what colors we want in our background. We don't have to go searching for some patterned paper. We make that decision. Now look at that. Look how pretty that is. And you can see the difference. Let me show that again. Look at the difference. This is where we just took our cling wrap to our ink pad. It's not as vibrant as these colors right here. But you decide, how do you want your card to look? Now, the next thing that we want to do is let's just go ahead and add the inside of our card. This is a very fast card to make. Let's go ahead and bring in this piece of paper. And I want to put just a little flower here or something. It's going to go just like that. Now, I don't want you to be able to see it when this flap is closed. What we are using is Thankful Garden because we're using the leaves that they have, but you can use whatever you want. And heart-shaped, I'm using these little flowers, and I bet you have some flowers in your stash. So use what you have. Now, I'm going to bring in these leaves, and I'm going to bring in Lost Lagoon, and I'm just going to stamp it right here in this corner. Just so when they open up the card, they have a little surprise. Look at that, so pretty. And now we're just going to add just a little bit of flowers. Bringing in those flowers, tap, tap, tap. And look at that, how cute. Now, this flap right here goes right underneath this mat, and I left it open just for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just lay this flat, and I'm going to add some tape from a tape runner so that it's really adheres to the card. Now, we're just going to slip this right under. Just like this. And I'm going to make sure it's right to the edge of the card, right here, right along this edge. So once we have it where we want it, we go ahead and push down, and so now we have our flap. Let's go ahead and lay down this. And now we need a mat for this right here. So we're going to double mat it. And these measurements are over on our blog, but let's decorate this. Now, I don't want to add any more of our beautiful, unique background, I want to go ahead and bring in those stamps. So I am going to bring in Lost Lagoon, and I'm just going to put some leaves around and get that stamped. So tap, tap, tap. Just like that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bring in our sentiment so that I make sure I have enough room, and I'm going to load it up. So tap, 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 and I'm going to put it right in the center and lift. Oh, look how pretty that is. Now, I need a little bit of leaves going down, so let's just load that up, and I'm going to bring them straight across. Now we want a little touch of berry burst in there, or that really pretty, it's almost a fuchsia, a dark fuchsia color. I'm just going to bring in a few little flowers. Now I'm going to add that to my mat. Add it to my flap of my card. And this is how easily you can put this flap card together. Now, remember another tip. When I go to give this a good crease, I'm going to go ahead and just flip it over and crease it just like this. That way I don't have to worry about messing up the front of my flap right here. And look at that. So pretty. Look at that background. It matches perfectly the colors that I needed for my card. That's why this cling wrap is so special to use to create that background. Are you ready to create a second card, a second variation of this unique background? Let's do it. We're going to go ahead and bring in our mat again. We are this time using this beautiful purple or gorgeous grape cardstock. But what we need to do is go ahead and grab our cling wrap, tear off 2 pieces, and now I'm going to bring in my gorgeous grape or my purple, and this is going to create that unique background. Now we have this flat, so we're just going to start gathering it just like this, making sure that we have this area right here nice and crinkled. And if you run out of acrylic blocks, you don't have enough, we're just going to use this long block, and I'm going to load it up right here. I'm going to spritz it with my water. And just going to tap off just a little bit. Now look at that. Look how pretty that looks. The color is solid. It doesn't look light. It looks very vibrant. So now we're going to bring in our other piece of saran wrap and get it all folded how we need it. So we're just going to start like this and just fold it. And it is very forgiving. You can just take it and pinch it and make it work for you if it's not exactly how you want it. And there you go. So we're just going to, put this on my paper, and I'm going to bring in my Poppy Parade. These are the colors that I want for our unique background. So I'm just going to load it up. Just like this. It doesn't look like much, but wait until we spritz it. Look at that color. Look how vibrant that is. Okay, just going to and look at that. So pretty. Another idea with this is to go ahead and take a big piece of cardstock like this and just have fun with it. Use your design all over it, cut it into scraps, and then you can use it for your design. Love that idea as well. So now we have this. Now let's just build our card. I'm going to go ahead and lay this down on our beautiful, gorgeous grape or purple cardstock. And I like to go ahead and put down my silicone mat. Here's our base card. We need to go ahead and we have scored it. This is 5.5 by 6.5, and we've scored it at 4 1/4. Put the large side over to your right and find that score line and just give it a good crease. Let's go ahead and lay down this unique background we just created. And we love it because it's exactly the colors that we wanted. We didn't have to search for our pattern paper. Plus, we saved money, right? We didn't have to buy any pattern paper. We created our background. Oh, just love it. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a really good crease, just like this. I'm going to put this to the side. We now have our little flap created, and remember, this is 3.5 by 3 1/4, and we scored on the short side right here, and we scored at 2 3/4. So let's go ahead and find that score line, give it a really good crease. Now, we can add this right now. We're going to put this flap down, and we're going to line it up with the edge of this paper. So let's go ahead and do that. We need to put some tape on it because we really want it to hold. If you get any tape on the outside, just go ahead and fold it back to the flap. And there we have it. And now we're ready to put down our mat on the inside. And that will just cover up that little tab so that you don't see it, which is a good thing. And we want to go ahead and just give us a little sentiment. So we're going to bring in our Night of Navy. Tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to put it down right here. Straight down and straight up. Now, I want to go ahead and put a little flower right here in the corner. So, I'm going to use my Night of Navy for this because this stamp that I'm using is a double stamp process. And I bet you have some beautiful daisies as well. But we stamp it twice to give it the color. We don't even have to use blends. That makes it really nice. So we're just going to put him right here. Just kind of make him pop a little bit. And then we're going to use our Poppy Parade and we're going to color it. So tap, tap, tap. And just hold it down and look at that. And there we have the inside. How cute is that? Now let's add that to the inside of our flap card. And look, so cute. We have the unique background we wanted to create with the colors we wanted. I love that. Now, on the front of this, we're going to just add these two mats together. And I love my wet glue because it allows you to wiggle, wiggle. And we stamped our flower with that two-stamp process and cut it out. And we got the sentiment right from here. So pretty. We went ahead and stamped it and just cut it out. So let's go ahead and add this to the front of our flap, and then we can decide exactly where we want to put our flower. Center it top to bottom, just like that. And look at that, how cute is that? So we're just gonna add this. What do you think about this? Love those colors. Love how easy this unique background was to create. So take a moment and leave a comment. I'm going to show you 4 cards. Let me know below which are your favorites. We have this cute teal color with magenta. We have this beautiful flower. I showed you this autumn one. Oh my goodness, look at it. We double embossed this. This is an idea. And finally, oh my goodness, we have a new stamp set that just colors half of the sunflower. We went ahead and colored it ourselves. Look at the colors that we chose to complement our sunflower. So pretty. We also added a strip of cling wrap right there. So we just took a Post-it, added it right there, and then just used our cling wrap to create that unique border. So which is your favorite card? Oh my goodness, we love using cling wrap to create a unique border. Not only does it give us exactly the colors that we want, but it's so much fun, right? Well, we hope that you were inspired by this technique. Pull out that kitchen household item, cling wrap, and use it to create your unique background. Well, we hope that you take a moment to subscribe, share with your friends, and like our video and help us grow. And remember, until next time, Maudie and I wish you lots of creative moments. Bye-bye.